Hello everybody! We're sure you've been involved in a discussion or even started one at least once, and no matter what it is, the intention is always to win. But to be honest, this isn't always possible. The opponent can be stronger, smarter, or more cunning, especially for these cases we've prepared today's video. In it, we'll show you discussions that you can win with a 100% chance, but it's not easy. In many cases, you'll have to prepare beforehand, but you can be sure it's worth it. So here are 10 arguments you will win. Let's get it on.
Yes! Red on yes!
Balance. At first glance, this may seem incredible, but it is possible to swing two metal forks on a toothpick at the edge of a glass. Don't believe us? It is absolutely possible if you locate the center of gravity of the elements correctly. First, we take two similar forks and put them together by the teeth. Then we pierce the forks with the toothpicks approximately half an inch. And now the most interesting thing, we must balance the toothpick at the edge of the glass, with the forks looking towards the glass. Did you make it? Now, to make it even more fun, you can burn the tip of the toothpick inside the cup. The wood will burn and the forks will stay in place, practically floating in the air. And all this thanks to mere physics. Books. If you have books at home that you don't need and don't know what to do with them, you can look for a friend who's passionate about gambling and watch him lose. This little trick is very simple. Bet your opponent that he won't be able to separate the mixed pages from two books. He'll probably laugh, and if you're lucky, he'll want to bet some money. He probably thinks there's nothing easier in the world, but he will be surprised. To win, you'll need two soft-cover books. Place them in such a way that the pages face each other, and mix them together in the same way that a magician mixes a deck of cards. When the pages are over, ask your friend to pull on one of the books, while you pull on the other side in the opposite direction. So your friend didn't make it. Congratulations, you won. And your opponent probably doesn't understand what happened, and it's all thanks to friction. It's so high that it keeps you from separating the books, so don't forget to thank it. A toothpick star. Do you believe that we can make a 5-pointed star out of toothpicks without using our hands? It's true, we can. For this, we need some preparation, but for the creation of the star, we actually won't use our hands. You don't believe us? Then prepare to lose and watch carefully. For this, we need a plate, 5 toothpicks, water, and a spoon. First of all, fold the small toothpicks in half and arrange them so that the toothpicks point outwards, and you must join the toothpicks together. Right now, we have a 10-pointed star, but it's time to turn it into something different. Right, watch carefully. Without touching anything, we use the spoon to put a drop of water in the center of the wooden figure. Thanks to the magic of the water, toothpicks take the shape of a star like the one we wanted. Now you know another way to make fun of your friends. Non-burning bill. For the next trick, we're going to need some special effects. The bet goes like this. Tell a friend that you can set a bill on fire without burning it. Of course, your opponent will begin to argue, claiming that this is impossible, but we assure you you're going to win. To leave your opponent's self-esteem to the ground, we need a bill, tongs, a lighter, salt, and a 50% alcohol solution, which you'll get by mixing alcohol and water in equal quantities. For starters, you should add a little salt to the alcohol solution and place the bill fully in the liquid. Then we remove the bill with the help of tongs, shake a little and set it on fire. And now enjoy your opponent's surprised face when he sees that the bill is on fire, but it doesn't burn. Your friend will probably ask you what kind of magic you used. The answer is very simple. The process of burning ethyl alcohol generates water, carbon dioxide, and heat. When you set the bill on fire, what actually burns is the alcohol. However, the temperature at which it burns is not sufficient to evaporate the water absorbed by the paper. The result is that the alcohol burns completely, the flame goes out, and the bill, still a little wet, is in perfect condition. Rock, paper, scissors. We're sure that everyone knows this game from their childhood. Many believe that this is simply a matter of luck, but in reality it's not. That's why we're going to tell you some secrets about the game that will help you beat any opponent. You probably know the rules of the game, but we'll remind you of them anyway. Rock breaks scissors, scissors cuts paper, and paper wraps up the rock. It seems impossible, but even this simple game has become the subject of several investigations, and as a result it's been discovered that the formula for success is as follows. If you lose in the first attempt, your next move should be the figure that would defeat the last symbol your opponent showed. If you won the first time, don't show the same figure. Instead, use the same figure your opponent used on the last time. Also, men usually use rock. For that reason, if you're playing against a male, try using paper. It's also worth remembering that if your opponent has shown rock 2 times in a row, he's a cunning player, and in the next turn he'll show you scissors. And also you should pay attention. The slightest movements of the hand will tell you the figure the opponent plans to use. If all the fingers are stretched, it will be rock. If all the fingers are relaxed, paper. If only 2 fingers are stretched, scissors. Attention is essential. Heads or tails. Imagine someone challenging you to play heads or tails. The rules are simple. Each player must guess the sequence of 3 rows, choosing heads or tails. Once the combinations have been selected, players toss the coin until one of the 2 possible sequences is shown. If your opponent's sequence appears first, you have lost. If yours shows up first, you win. You might think that if both players are honest, the odds of winning are 50-50, but in reality, even in this case, there are ways to be more clever and win. Your opponent has an 87% chance of winning. For that not to happen, it's important to place second. Suppose the person who starts playing chooses heads, heads, and tails. Your task is to remember that sequence and build the following combination. Your first figure must be the opposite of your opponent's second figure, in this case tails. The following 2 figures must be equal to the first 2 of your opponent, in this case heads and heads, and that's it. If you follow these simple rules, your odds of winning will be higher than your opponent's. If you don't believe us, try it and you'll find out. Tell us in the comments how it worked for you. Resistant bubble. Another idea that seems completely crazy and will allow you to discuss and win is the possibility of creating a bubble that doesn't explode. Hang on, a bubble that doesn't burst, your friend wonders? And the answer is a plastic bubble. To prove you're right, you need some accessories: a disc, a box cutter, and a lighter. Take the disc and with the help of the box cutter, separate the different layers that compose it. For this experiment, you need the semi-transparent plastic part. Now you have to heat a part of the disc and blow in that same place. Eureka! You've created a long bubble with the help of the disc and no one can burst it, just as we promised. Square with matches. This trick will help you look like a true wizard. Start arguing with your friend, telling him that he's not able to create a square with 4 matches, moving only 1. In order to win this contest, you need some trickery. You must position the matches as follows. The opponent won't really notice it and will start moving the match, desperate not to be able to make a square. Well, have mercy on your friend. It's time for you to put the matches in place and make a little movement with the match outward. Alright, you've created a small square in the place where the matches meet, so technically you've fulfilled the bet and won. It's not your problem that your friend didn't think outside the box. Tic-tac-toe. There seems to be another simple game that will allow you to look like a winner. Those who haven't seen this video hardly know this plan to win the game of tic-tac-toe. Again, it seems like it's all about luck, but there is a plan to win every time, and it's as follows. For starters, you have to be the one first to play. Let's say by putting a cross. The first symbol should be placed in any of the corners, like the one you like the best. Now you must confuse the opponent, talk to him, or do whatever it takes to prevent him from drawing the circle in the middle. If you succeed, draw the next cross in the corner to the right or left of the first one. The opponent will prevent you from making 3 in a row, and your answer will be to draw another cross in one of the corners. Your opponent will close the way for you again, but your answer will be to put the cross in the center, leading you to victory. Another option for winning is to put your symbol in the center on the first turn. It's not sure you're going to win, but at least you're guaranteed a draw. Walking on eggs. Finally, we will show you that we can walk on eggs without breaking them. You can laugh all you want, but it's true. We may fail on the first try, so we'll need about 24 eggs, plus a trash bag, a bucket of water, soap, and a group of friends to clean up the mess when we're done. For starters, we have to check the eggs in the boxes for cracks. If one of the eggs looks weak, change it. It's just as important that all the eggs are facing the same direction, either with the widest or thinnest part facing up. We leave it to your choice. If we can put our feet on the eggs and distribute the weight evenly, then we can stand and walk barefoot on the eggs. If you don't want to suffer from a sloppy move, you can put a board or tile over the eggs, so you'll have less trouble. You may think we're fooling you, but the eggshell is really tough, and it can take a lot of weight. The shape of the eggs is such that at an even pressure, the tension is distributed throughout the shell and doesn't allow it to break. But anyway, if you want to show bravery to your friends, it's better to practice a little. You'll need the elements that we initially pointed out in large quantities. Now you know a few arguments you'll always win, and in return we ask you to give us a like. Guys, it's time to recharge your brain. Visit the channel Brain Time. There you'll find a lot of interesting and useful facts, lots of positive energy and tons of useful information. Subscribe right now. We promise it's going to be really exciting.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks, and we'll be right back to you as fast as we can.